Buenos dias. Good morning. Our human body, our physiology was the bones, the muscles, the ligaments, the tendons, the organs, the complex nervous system was selected out over millions and millions of years in an environment that is radically different than which we live in now. Only a few thousand years ago, that's a blink of an eye in evolutionary history, we started going from hunter-gatherers to farmers. Just 200 years ago, we started the Industrial Revolution. We are now in the information and technology revolution. But I suggest that in many ways, this body that was designed to run, to climb, to hunt, and to gather, in many ways has not yet adapted very well to these rapidly changing environments. First of all, this body was designed to work best in the upright posture. I'll keep this in mind as we go through this. I'm a family physician that works in the Pajaro Valley. A lot of my patients either pick strawberries or raspberries. The strawberry picker often works 6 days a week, 8 hours a day, sometimes 10, sometimes 12 hours a day. They can often pick enough strawberries to fill up to 120 boxes, sometimes 130. In each box up until upwards of 150 strawberries. That could be, in some days, 17,000, 20,000 strawberries picked in a single day. The problem is that these strawberries are not picked in the upright posture. They are picked stooped over. And our bodies are just not designed to do that for that long. You don't need to be a physiatrist, a physical therapist, to realize that there's going to be a tremendous amount of damage that's going to happen to this physical body from this work that these workers are asked to do. Let's go over some of these problems. We'll start with the wrist. Bending over all this time using your wrist, you get this overuse, so-called overuse syndromes. And basically what that is that your ligaments and tendons and cartilage and muscles are overused and they start to tear microscopically. And the body tries to fix it, so it sends a lot of blood and cells to the area, and that's a process called inflammation. The problem with the inflammation is that swelling comes with inflammation. And in the wrist, they often develop something called carpal tunnel syndrome. And that basically has to do with the bones, the carpal bones that help to make up the wrist, and fascia that goes underneath it. And through this tunnel that it makes, some nerves go through there. One of the nerves is called the median nerve, which innervates these 3 fingers and part of that one. And when that starts to get compressed from the swelling, you start to get weakness. You start to lose the opposable thumb. You'll see their hand starts to go flat here, and it causes a lot of pain. Some of them can't even hold a glass of water. You even get pains that shoot up the shoulder. It's very disabling. Let's move up to the elbows. They often get something called tennis elbow or golfer's elbow, and I suggest it's not from golfing. You got to call it strawberry picker's elbow. And basically what's happening there is the muscles that do this connect here. The muscles that do that connect here through tendons. And once again, through overuse and tearing of these structures, you develop a lot of pain and inflammation. Pretty soon you have a really weak grip strength plus pain. Now let's go to the back where the majority of the problems happen. You develop something called the myofascial pain syndrome. It's very disabling. Basically, you have these long muscles that run from the base of the head all the way down to the sacrum, your bottom basically. And through bending over for all these hours, you create a lot of strain in the muscles, a lot of tears. And this causes pain, which causes spasm, which causes more pain, which causes more spasm. Pretty soon you have these bundled up, knotted up muscles. And you touch the back of some of these farm workers, it feels like they have rods running up and down their back. It's not normal. Even after they stop working, sometimes even for decades, they can still continue to have this pain. Now imagine this happening in your bottom area, the glutes. The problem when it happens there is you have a big nerve that runs through there to the bottom called the sciatic nerve. If you start to compress that nerve, you can get shooting pains that go down, and in severe cases, you could compress it so much that you start to get weakness, another very disabling problem. And then the knees, the ankles, the hands, it's just wear and tear in the cartilage. You develop degenerative joint disease, arthritis, decades before anybody else would. So basically, this work is very inhumane. It's the environment that we ask these workers to be in. They're set up for failure. Perhaps we could come up with some better ways to treat them. Perhaps maybe for 4 hours you do strawberry picking, 4 hours do raspberry, so you can kind of be upright instead of being down the whole time. Perhaps we can shorten the work hour, maybe 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the afternoon, longer breaks, longer lunch, basically give them a chance to recover. I'm running out of time, but I would have liked to have talked about pesticides, diabetes, and depression, other huge problems out there. I'd just like to end by saying that my father was a mushroom picker, and he died when I was 9 years old, and I never had the chance to thank him for all the hard work and sacrifice that he went through so that his family could have opportunities that he never got. And likewise, I'd like to thank the farm workers that are here, the farm workers that are out there right now in the Pajaro Valley picking strawberries in very hot weather. I appreciate the work that they do for their families and this country. Thank you.